Not a big deal though. Still in the picking phase. Clutch play. And here we go, reserve time for this third pick before the break. Suits thinking carefully about this. They used to shake her last game. It worked out pretty well. He got a couple of good echo slams that were like really menacing, but they didn't really take down Dirt Derp in that bottom lane. They didn't punish him too effectively. It's one of the concerns for them. Leshrac got punished in the middle lane when he was a solo middle for Suits, and he struggled for the rest of the game on the back end of that. Shadow Demon, they could form a really strong tri-lane if they wanted to, but I can't think of any heroes that are particularly going to be targeted by JT. I mean, Broodmother's probably going to get banned out by one team. If that's a pick they want to go for, then they have to pick her up now probably. Invoker may not make it through. I'm not sure what JT have in mind. If they want to play that Rubik as a support or a carry, they're going to be looking for a couple more supports. Brood is going to be the pickup. So Brood, Shadow, Shaker. And now a ban comes out from JT. Who do they want to get rid of? With a Brood, Shadow, and a Shaker, you want to take out some solo middles. Queen of Pain's going to be an option. Chaos Knight's going to be an option. Brewmaster, another choice, and Invoker, of course, another choice. So they might want to work through those. Invoker, I expect to see, and then Queen of Pain could be 1-2. Unless they want to go for Queen of Pain themselves. They still have openings. It depends how they want to run their Leshrac and their Rubik.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
5 seconds remaining in regular time. And look at that. Suits used a lot of their extra time in the last choice. They're down to 12 seconds of extra time. So have to be a little bit more hasty throughout the rest of the picking phase as well as the banning phase. Now reserve time come into play for the Dire team. JT, Josh Tabak Dota with a 70-minute victory in game 1. They're going to take out Enigma. So one jungler out of the equation. Chen and Enchantress are still in the pool. There goes Tide. So taking out support. Tide could long lane too, and he was frustrating for them last game. The final ban's going to be Kunkka. Kunkka definitely has the potential to combo up with Shadow Demon, but I didn't suspect that as a ban, and then Sand King is going to be banned out. Very interesting choices here. Sand King and Tide give that big teamfight AoE presence, so they're pretty understandable. Kunkka, do they know something about Suits that we don't know? Perhaps they scrimmed together before, because Kunkka is pretty much a niche pick. I'm not sure. Now the fourth pick for JT. They could go for the Invoker here. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Sand King is out and Shadow Demon's on the other team, so there isn't that really strong combo for an Exhort Invoker, but of course the control that you can get from a Quas Flex Invoker, always a viable option. They're going to go into reserve time to think about this one. Queen of Pain is still available as well. There's a lot of mobility, and that burst damage is so strong. Burst damage against Broodmother is very strong before she gets the BKB up early in the game. Especially, you can also use that Scream of Pain on her Broodlings. Take those out of the picture too. Thanks to everyone who's tuning in. I'm NYJohn. This is the Fnatic Raidcall Dota 2 Cup number 5. It's Thursday. Finals day. This is the semifinal matchup. Josh Tabak Dota need one more win to close it out. Meanwhile, Suits need 2 wins to bring it back and make their way into the finals themselves. Now the fourth pick from JT will be Beastmaster. Here I'd love to see that long lane Beastmaster is so powerful. Now the response from Suits, their fourth selection.
5 seconds remaining.
Invoker. Maybe I'll just say Invoker until somebody picks him up. But he seems like such a good option right now.
5 seconds remaining.
Invoker.
And there he is. So makes it through the first bans, the second bans. the first picks and gets picked up at the 4th spot by Suits. And now the final pickup for JT. Who do they want to go for? Lone Druid, Beastmaster. They could put Lone Druid on the safe lane with the supports, have really aggressive pushing outlook, in which case they want a middle laner, they want a Queen of Pain, they want someone that can make things happen. They could also duo them up and put someone with Rubik in the middle lane if they wanted to. Or Rubik could be their solo mid too. So they could go for another support here or a solo mid. We'll see what JT have in mind.
Reserve time.
Into the reserve time, only 20 seconds left, so we're going to see this pick sooner than later. And here it comes, Queen of Pain it will be. So they decide to put the Rubik as support, but Queen of Pain in the middle. Their lanes look pretty obvious. The tri-lane, aggressive tri-lane with Lone Druid in it. They can definitely put a lot of pressure on early. Now the final pick, what can they do to try and combat this? Shadow Demon support, Earthshaker support. Broodmother's going to be farming the long, probably. Invoker in the middle, so they want someone to feature in a tri-lane capacity. Do they have any pocket heroes? Because Morphling is definitely out of this one.
5 seconds remaining.
Do we see something unique, like a Shadow Fiend or a Razor?
Reserve time.
No, we see a Brewmaster after all that, so it's going to be duos. Brewmaster picked up. He could very well go mid. Invoker could be top with a Shaker, and Brute could be solo bottom. We'll see how it actually pans out as we get into the game. And here we go. This is going to be game 2 of what is actually a best of 3, so I'm a little bit surprised. Between JT and Suits. And we'll see who's going to get the better of this one. JT, 1 game from closing out the series. Suits need to bring back and win 2 in a row before they can advance to the finals. And we'll go over who's playing what hero. We have Helix on the back end of the Brewmaster. We have Tibor on Shadow Demon. Fantasy playing his Earthshaker. We have K-Phony on the Invoker. K-Phony having a magnificent game last time around. And now Fernando will be on Broodmother. I feel like some of his names have definitely changed since the last game. Not sure why. Perhaps Steam coming into play. And now Rolo will be playing Leshrac for JT. We have Tobacco on Queen of Pain. Whitebeard playing that Rubik. We have Smurf on Lone Druid. And Derp to finish off the roster on Beastmaster. And now Telekinesis on Fernando. He gets caught out a little bit out of position. Gets hit by the Split Earth as well. He's going to be in trouble. The first one's going to come before the Creep Wave even spawns. Down goes Broodmother. Well played by JT. And the 4-man rotation pays off as Rolo trying to get down here and put down wards early. Or Fernando, excuse me. Trying to get down here and put down webs early. And gets picked off. And the first blood gold goes to Rolo. So he'll be happy with that. Allow him to buy even more invis detection and make this lane that much more of a hassle for Fernando. It's already an aggressive tri-lane. They're going to push this in very hard, even knock on the base around the 7-minute mark probably. And now Tabor is going to rotate towards the rune. It's going to be a haste rune. He can pick that up. Derp may be in trouble in this top lane. A nice aggressive ward is going to be placed to spot him off. Fantasy is up here, so they're not running duos right now. They have Shadow Demon as well as Earthshaker towards the top with this Brewmaster. A little bit surprising. I think they could have set this up a little better if they put a dual mid, the Shadow Demon plus the Brew mid perhaps, and then K-Phony plus Shaker on the top. Lane setup would have optimized kill opportunities in the middle lane. It's still going to be difficult against the Queen of Pain, I suppose, though, so they opted against it. And now Fantasy going to go back to his lane. Beastmaster, going to go over here and try and stack the Ancients, but they throw down a Sentry to try and block it for now. Fernando going to be spotted off, though. With this Sentry on the bottom lane, they're going to put Harass on him. Free farm for the Lone Druid. And Rolo's going to want to pick up a couple levels where he can, though, so he can get that Edict up and make the push that much more successful. So perhaps looking to pull a little bit early on. Not go full force on the tower. They don't have the Demolish yet either. The Bear gets demolished at level 3 or 5, I can't remember, where he does the extra damage to towers. Now Fernando just has to stay all the way back. Hasn't gotten a bit of experience quite yet. Whitebeard as well as Rolo making a good job of keeping him out of the lane. Helix can come forward. Derp is actually able to get a little bit of experience here as the wave is pushing. The supports aren't here to keep him out. He gets a couple last hits here and there as well. Now Helix is going to turn around and put a clap on him. A couple hits to follow afterwards. Nothing too serious. We see a double jungle Tabor plus Urchig are going to pull. Disconnect them out from Fantasy, though. And the pause from Leshak. So polite when the opposition pauses for you. And hopefully they'll be able to reconnect momentarily. I'm NYJohn. This is Fnatic Raidcall Play Dota Cup number 5. Thank you for joining me today on this very hot Thursday. Or at least it's hot here in New York. After having thunderstorms all day yesterday. I hope you're enjoying yourself and enjoying the broadcast as well. Following this series, we will have the finals, I believe. We could also have the other semifinals. I don't know how they decided to pan it out. We very well could be in for a 9-game day if everything goes the full length. Otherwise, at least 6 games. Oh, and I forgot to... So hopefully this pause doesn't last too long. Nothing has been said quite yet. Maybe this is a normal disconnect. Nothing too big. Shout out to all the other casters. There's also another English stream. There's the game is available in Spanish, I believe, as well as German. And it looks like Fantasy is going to reconnect here. No call yet. And here we go, the go. So we're back into it. Suits versus JT, game 2 of a best of 3 semifinal matchup. At least I keep telling myself it's a semifinal. I could be wrong on all counts of everything, but the bracket says it's a semifinal, so sounds reasonable. And 1-0 already in favor of kills of JT as they picked off the Broodmother early on the bottom lane. Fantasy rotating up here. He's going to look for a block on this Beastmaster who's forward a little bit, but he won't have enough damage to take him out anyway. If Helix joins in, maybe they have an opportunity. He's going to pop off the Hawk. Hawk is going to spot him off, and a nice block comes in. And Derp may be in a little bit of trouble here. But he's going to make his way out of here. Blocked by his own creep. He's going to be hit by the Sunstrike. No, yes he is! The Sunstrike's going to hit, and they back off a little bit preemptively. A couple more auto attacks could have taken him down. And I think maybe they could have got a shot at that kill if they had just stuck with it. But the Sunstrike did look like it wasn't going to hit. Now here's the pressure I was talking about. The Spirit Bearer plus Whitebeard as well as Leshak with the Edict. Going to pile on the damage on these towers and really make Brood's life a living hell. And now the tower is going to go down. Last hit goes to Lone Druid. Fernando tossed up into the air. He'll be just fine. They don't pop down a second sentry to try and kill him quite yet. And now they're going to persist and keep going forward and get these early tower kills. JT's strategy in full force here. 3 minutes. They already picked it off. 1 tower. We can check out the CSs. We see the free farm on Brewmaster a little bit better than the free farm on Lone Druid, but Lone Druid picks up that tower kill. And now Fernando's in trouble. He's in the middle of the fight against Swidearth. Misses this time, though, but he still goes down. Another kill on top of Broodmother. And they persist to try and look for the second tower kill now. Smurf has a resummon available if need be. We see rotation and smoke and attempt Tabor plus Fantasy. Gonna look to the middle lane. Tobacco does have a DD up. It could be a tough kill to try and execute properly on a Queen of Pain. They have to chain off the stuns really well. And here they come in. There's the disruption to start it off. The Sunstrike to put the damage on top of it. Can they kill him off? Tobacco trying to retreat. It looks like he's going to get out of there just barely. Well played by Tobacco. And now a dive again on Fernando. He's going to go down for the 3rd time. Smurf just barely living. Pops off a salve on himself. And now the second tower is going to go down. And JT are up 3-0. They have 2 towers in 4 minutes. Wow, a huge start for JT after a 70-minute game. They're asserting themselves very early in this one. And looking so strong. And now we see a rotation back to the base by Tabor. He's going to have to try and help Broodmother try and stave off this aggression coming out from Lone Druid with his friends. And it looks like the supports have backed off, and now Smurf may be in trouble. In fact, he is going to get disrupted. He may be in trouble. Here's the Soul Catcher on top of him. Damage to be piled up by Fernando. Should turn the bear around, but no, the Spawn Spiraling is enough to take him down as the support had left him, and he was all up there alone. Perhaps a little bit overzealous and not erring on the side of caution, but if they keep this going, 5 minutes, they got 2 towers, 3 kills, already taken down Broodmother twice. Oh no, 3 times. She's all 3 of the kills. So, huge effort from them. Now in the middle lane, Tobacco going to blink forward, look for some aggression on K-Phony. The telekinesis puts him up in the air. The splitter at the follow, and K-Phony's going to drop as well. JT in cruise control, 5 minutes in, exerting their will, and now the tier 1 in the middle lane could be in trouble. Unfortunately, the Siege Creep does sneak past the wave and die. That could have helped out the pushing effort a little bit. Rolo also going to take auto text from the tower. Everyone being a little bit crazy here. And now Smurf going to pile on the damage. Does he have a bear available? No, not for 50 seconds it looks like. But the tower is still going to take a ton of damage. Rolo will have an ETH available once he gets 10 more mana. Now, TP in from Helix. He's already trying to move to try and help this out, and they've interrupted his free farm. It's definitely good. He's able to get those arcane boots, but he really wants to have his blink dagger really before he leaves the lane. That would be an optimal setting for the Brewmaster, excuse me. Beastmaster and Brewmaster in the same game causes issues for me. They're too similar, and Broodmother's in the game too, so all the BMs. But of course, Brewmaster is level 6, so has that Primal Split available if he wants to try and be aggressive here. He's just trying to stay in the middle lane now because it's going to be tougher for them to push on him than it would be to try and push on the Invoker or even the Broodmother. Now this is going to allow Beastmaster to get some farm on the top lane and pick up his levels as well. We can see he is a level 5, almost level 6, has that soul ring up as well as 800 gold in the bank, so he is doing well. 14 for 1 on CS against Broodmother, who's 16 for 2, so in terms of CS, Broodmother doing a little bit better, but with 3 deaths, Beastmaster is definitely ahead. Stun coming out in the middle lane, but nothing to follow up. You see Fernando on the bottom lane pushing forward a little bit far. Again, Rolo does have Sentry Ward, so he has to be careful. The bear can get an entangle. They can try and chain this off and get a kill. Smurf are going to get hit by another Spawn Spiderling being spammed for damage on the heroes. There's no regen to be had, though, so he has to be a little bit careful, and he's going to go back to the base. Now in the middle lane, we see damage coming out on top of Helix. They're going to pop off the Shadow Strike, as well as a screen to try and nuke him down. Queen of Pain going for the normal build, the 2-1-3. We see variations, the 1-1-4. We also see the ultimate at level 6 sometimes, but all of them pretty standard. One of the heroes that you can't really go wrong with the build unless you get like 4 levels in Shadow Strike and no levels in Blink. So, nothing out of the ordinary. Tabor going to be in the river, spotted off easily by this ward from the Radiant side. There's this ward on the high ground from the Dire, so they have full vision on Tobacco and any of his friends that are going to come in past the tower. And now Fantasy is here as well for help, if they need any help. Whitebeard rotates up to the top. Derp is level 6, has an ultimate available. He's going to try and put a roar on top of K-Phony, and they're going to try and take him down here. And Exhort Invoker does not have that much versatility. He does have 1 level of Wex, so couldn't try and use Ghostwalk to get out of here, but he's going to come forward a little bit too far in this lane. This could spell his death. He may be in trouble. Here it comes, the roar to be popped. Axes first. Do they have anything to detect him? No. And it looks like K-Phony going to get out of there. Very well played by him. Now a disruption on top of Queen of Pain as she jumps in here. Tabor pretty low on health. Smurf comes in as well to help him out though, and Tabor going to be able to escape with his life. Maroon spotted on the top is going to be Illusion and will be picked up by Tobacco. Tobacco going to rotate back into the middle lane. Middle tower is below half health. They're going to try and pile on the damage and take that down as early as possible. Fernando meanwhile getting some farm, doing a good job of getting a little bit back into this game on the bottom lane. He has 700 gold in the bank, has that soul ring as well as boots already finished. Now the bear's going to come in here. He has his... doesn't have Demolish. Is Demolish even a real ability, or am I making it up? Either way, we're going to move on, and they're looking towards the tier 2 tower here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
JT do not want to relent. They have so much pushing advantage, being able to take down that Broodmother a couple of times and really push her behind in terms of where she wanted to be in the early stages of this game. Do they have any vis detection on any of these heroes? Yes, sentries are available, and Tobacco's going to go ahead and kill off some of the Broodlings. Now Smurf can continue the pressure on this tower in the middle lane. He's level 6, so he pops off the ultimate. Added health as well as armor. More difficult to take down Helix. Meanwhile, 1100 gold in the bank, going to be looking towards that Blink Dagger for this next acquisition. Tobacco looking towards middle. We have an Entangle. Queen of Pain. joins the battle. And now 4 heroes here for the Radiant squad versus 3 for the Dire. Do they want to be very aggressive, jump on top of them? Tabak's going to put a Shadow Strike on Fantasy. Fantasy going to get pressured out here. Disruption comes up as well as the Soul Catcher, and a lot of damage is going to come out from that Sunstrike. Puts Tabak down to around half health. He needs to back up and be a little bit more careful. The tower does tick down to about 1/4 health now on the back end of Smurf's constant damage. And now Kfoni's going to be in trouble. He's going to go down. Scream of Pain able to take him out. And this tower is going to die on the back end of this. But from behind, we have Helix joining the fight. He pops out the Primal Split. Smurf may be in trouble. He's ticking down. The Fire Panda does so much damage to Splitter to try and stun him and take him down, slow him up a little bit, and the Fire Panda is actually going to drop, so they're able to take him out of the picture. The Earth Panda going to retreat to keep him alive, so pops out the Primal Split, and now they're able to pick up a single kill. So Helix struggling a little bit there, perhaps a little bit too aggressive. That is a big cooldown to use and not get anything out of. You do push the Lone Druid back for a little while, so you buy yourself some time, but they definitely were looking for a better result than just that. Meanwhile, Fernando able to take down the tower on the bottom lane. He has 900 golden bank, also able to pick up his power charge. Tobacco running in here, going to use the Scream on top of all of those Broodlings with a haste rune active. Not too scared of anything Fernando can try and do to him. Another Scream to finish off farming the wave. We can check out the CSs. We saw Brewmaster in the lead, 55 for 13, and second is going to be Lone Druid, 48 for 6. Derek maintaining his positioning on the top lane. He's 33 for 4. Pretty good for a side lane solo Beastmaster. He's getting his farm up. It looks like he picked up a ring of health, so he's going to be working towards perhaps a pipe early on. This tower is taking a good amount of damage as well. So 3 towers already claimed by JT to the 1 claimed by Suits. Now a smoke rotation in Tabor plus Fantasy. Going to try and combine for a kill in the middle lane. Rolo a little bit overextended. He's going to be caught out by the disruption. Soul Catcher to follow, and he's going to go down instantly. Shadow even finishing him off with the last hit. And Rolo drops in the middle lane, so a good pick off there by Suits. Now in the bottom lane, Fernando thinking about going on top of Tobacco, but it's going to be a tough kill for him if he does. In fact, he's going to think better of it and not actually follow through. Whitebeard in the middle lane is going to push forward. Helix is going to back up a little bit. Primal Split still not available for 70 more seconds, so if they want to try and push again, now is a good time. Goodest time as ever. I totally just butchered that phrase. Excuse me, I'm NYJohn. Thank you for joining me. This is Fnatic Raidcall, Cup number 5. We're in our game 2 of a best of 3. J2 took game 1 in an epic 70-minute fashion. Now Kfoni is forced to retreat as the board comes in from the side, and Derp continues to put pressure on this top tower. He may get this by himself. Meanwhile, 3 members of JT are in the middle lane. They are looking to finish off the tier 2 tower here, and now a TP in is going to make it a little more precarious of a situation. Fantasy makes his way into the equation. 149 health left on this tower, but now rotation from JT as they take down the tier 2 in the middle. They're going to head towards the top tier 1 and try and take that down as well, but Fantasy finds himself in a predicament as Rubik stole off the Primal Split and takes down Fantasy with it, and now they're going to try and collapse in, but it looks like Kfoni is going to be able to get out of here. He can pop off. He has Invoke available if he wants to try and go invisible. They're going to toss him up in the air with the Whirlwind Dispel to try and bring him back down. He pops off Ghost Walk though and able to get out pretty easily, but no, they dropped the Sentry Road, and Kfoni is going to drop as well. 2 big kills there, and the tower goes down. 2 towers and 2 kills in a matter of a minute. And JT looking so in control of this matchup. Already have over 4,000 gold lead at 13 minutes. Experience over 1,000. But experience is not their concern. They want to keep methodically pushing through. 1 last outer base tower stands for Team Suits. And JT have their eyes set on killing it right now. And Demolish is a real ability. And he gets it at level 7. So I've been proven wrong. Helix jumps in the middle of the fight, though, with his newly acquired Blink Dagger. He pops off the Primal Split, able to take down Rolo right off the bat. Whitebeard's going to be in trouble. He's the next focus. He's pretty overextended, stuck behind his team. And now Whitebeard may go down. 1 more stun come out from the Bear. No, the amount of pressure will be enough to finish him off, though. And now the Bear in the middle of the fight trying to put damage on Tabor. But instead, he's going to switch his attention to Kfoni. Axes come out from Derp. No kills for JT, 2 kills for Suits, and now Tabor may be in trouble as the Bear. A couple more hits will be able to take him down. Instead, it's going to be called back to Smurf as Smurf is on the retreat. He does also pick up a headdress and a Bassi and a Gloves of Haste. So perhaps looking for more of an AUI 2000 build. Going for perhaps a Maelstrom. Fantasy may be in trouble here. The Splitter is going to hit on him. He's going to take a couple hits, and he will drop another kill for JT. And now they're going to look to try and continue the pressure onto this tower with Primal Split on cooldown. they aren't too afraid. That's their main damage dealer, as well as offers them a lot of control in the team fights. In 120 seconds still they're able to use that again. Now the bear is going to focus on the tower. Pop off the battle cry, and here we go. Rolo going to go ahead and pop off the edict, and the tower is dropping very quickly. Glyph is not available for still a while. And will they look onto the base? It looks like they will. Can they actually penetrate the base? It's 15 minutes into the game. And after going 70 minutes in the last one, JT look like they're fed up and want to keep this one short. Going to try and end it within the 20-minute mark, or at least get a racks within 20 minutes. And that's what counts. Tabor, they're going to steal off the Demonic Purge. So a nice steal from Whitebeard yet again. He's really on top of that, as Rubik isn't the easiest thing in the world. He gets Primal Split already, and now Demonic Purge is going to be stolen as well. Tobacco on the bottom lane, he is there alone. Does pick up a Necronomicon level 1 to help the pushing effort. Fernando is down here trying to contest him. He has an Oblivion Staff looking towards a Maelstrom first, not a Maelstrom, an Orchid as his first item. Now counter ward as well as a ward placed by the Radiant squad in a very aggressive placing by them. Tabor going to come forward. He's going to try and counter it back, but they're going to try and go on top of him. Can they kill off the ward quick enough? Yes, they can. And Tabor going to have to back off, and they end up losing 200 gold worth of wards there because a quicker response came out from Josh Tabak Dota than from Suits. Thanks to everyone who's watching. I'm NYJohn. This is game 2 of the best of 3. Josh Tabak Dota versus Suits. Josh Tabak Dota with a 1-game lead. One more win until they're in the finals. Meanwhile, Suits need a couple wins in a row. Helix looking really strong. He has that Blink Dagger up. Primal Split will be up another 10 seconds, so JT not taking advantage of the cooldown right there. They didn't try and push into the base. Base started to take a little bit of damage, but nothing too substantial. Now the bear. What is Smurf going for? He has 2,500 gold. If he wanted the Maelstrom, he could pick it up. So it makes me think he doesn't want a Maelstrom after all. Now Demonic Purge on top of Helix. He's going to be in trouble. Put into the disruption to try and make him live longer. And look at that. He's going to be able to pop off the Primal Split. He's not going to opt to use it, though. Just going to full retreat there. Well played by Tabor to get that nice disruption on him to keep him alive just a little bit longer. He could have been in trouble otherwise. Ping is out on top of the ward. They're going to try and counter that off momentarily. And JT might be looking towards the Roche Pit. And in fact, they are. Rotation in here to the Roche Pit. There are no wards in the area for the Dire team, so they may not know this is happening. Okay, Phony's all the way on the top lane farming up. He's going for Yules. He is pretty close to picking it up. He's only about 225 gold until he gets it. And now Helix going to rotate in. Will they make their way down here? Ping is up. They know they're in the Roche now. And here it comes. Helix going to try and lead the way. He has Primal Split up. However, the wards do spot off the Onward Aggression. Here he comes in the middle of the fight. Brewmaster splits. Whitebeard's going to be in trouble. The pipe has popped already, though. And now Derp going to rotate out of here. Does not even roar because of the Primal Split. And now Fantasy going to come in as well. Or are they going to try and make a fight out of this? It looks like Rolo's going to back out of here. He's going to TP out successfully. Fernando's in the middle of the fight. He could be in trouble. Derp's going to go forward and try and take out Fantasy, but Helix is going to back off there. Pop a clap on top of him. Fernando now pops the ultimate. Derp's in a bad position. The meteor, as well as a nice, definitely blast, is going to take him out and ends up being 2 kills in favor of the Dire, I believe. Did someone buy back? No. Demonic Purge now on top of Lone Druid. Smurf trying to get out of here. He will do so successfully. And who had the pipe in that last fight? Sunstrike coming out. It won't hit as he stands his ground. Beastmaster finished up a pipe and was able to use it in the last fight. Now Fernando trying to finish off Roche. He is below half health, so definitely concern for both teams. Smurf going to rotate back in. Whitebeard and Rolo both in. Wow. Fernando going to be in trouble. He's going to go down instantly. And the smoke gank works out. And now they're going to go ahead and try and finish off Roche on the back end of this. 19 minutes and big battle contest for Roche. Helix has no Primal Split. It's on cooldown for 100 more seconds. So this should be pretty easy for JT as they have 5 heroes coming in here. Roar is available as well. Fernando buys back though and comes back into the fight. If they catch him out, he could be pause call though. Whitebeard wants a pause. Thank you for everyone who's tuning in. I'm NYJohn. This is the Fnatic Raidcall Cup number 5. We have a pause here, so I'll rest my breath. as I am starting to lose my voice a little bit. Thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying the presentation. If you have any comments or you want to watch the VODs later tonight, some of my VODs got messed up yesterday, so I lost them. I apologize for that. About 2 of the games, I think. And tonight I'll make sure they don't. So they'll be on my YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/NYJohn TV. I also do casting for GoForDota.com, weekly cups. Go check them out when you get an opportunity. Here we go, back into the game though. Terp's going to get stunned off by Shaker, and a Sunstrike comes out. It's not going to hit on anything. The Meteor is going to be used, but only put a little bit of damage on Terp. Now the engagement, they put the disruption on top of Smurf. Smurf's going to be a little bit of trouble with the Split Earth on top of Tabor, and he's going to go down. And they're going to take out the illusions as well, and maybe continue and try and finish off this Roche once and for all. 2,800 gold on Lone Druids, and now it looks like he's actually just going to go for the Radiance. Fantasy as well as Kfoni and Fernando looming on the sideline. We also have Helix from the top angle. If they want to jump in here, Roche is about to die. Here he goes, and the Aegis is picked up, and the Suits team just have to back off as the Aegis is acquired by Queen of Pain. And this gives them some ammunition to try and break into the base. If JT want to continue that pushing outlook, very aggressive. And this is the exact opposite of what we saw in the last game. Full control belongs to JT right now, whereas in the last matchup, in the early game, full control belonged to Suits for the most part. On the back end of that Tinker play, all across the map, so present in team fights, the rocket spam was just systematically dismantling JT. But now they're in the driver's seat, and we'll see if they can close Neckbook level 3 on Queen of Pain. So it's going to deal a ton of damage as well as reveal that invisibility from Broodmother. She's within the webs. Broodmother getting close to finishing off that second Oblivion staff. Will be a good pickup for her. Tobacco rotating back towards the middle lane. He does have a DD rune now. Terp has 1,000 gold in the bank. We see a little bit of a line drawn. I'm not sure if they want Smurf to come down or if they're thinking they're going to go up. Now TP to the middle lane. Smurf's going to come in. Disruption set up on top of Tobacco. He's going to melt. The Aegis is already puffed, and the Bear's trying to make his way into the middle of the fight. Helix has a Primal Split available if he wants to continue the fight, but it looks like they're going to back off and be content with picking off that Aegis there. Well played. Tobacco not done yet, though. He pops out the Shadow Strike on Helix, and he's going to try and force this out. We also have the Necronomicon minions quickly draining his mana, and he jumps into the middle of it, and a Sonic Wave able to take down Brewmaster. Now we'll see if they want to continue going. It looks like Tobacco's got to keep going. Fantasy may be in trouble or can interrupt it. Yes, they can. The Fisher stun to stop the TP. And down goes Shaker. 2 kills for Queen of Pain there. They take down her Aegis, but in response, she takes down Brewmaster and Shaker. And now they're going to look to push on in the middle lane. Glyph will be available for the Dire, so they can delay this a little bit. Buyback comes out immediately from Brewmaster since he does have Primal Spit available. It is a wise decision. And now they're going to try and contest this push. Perhaps JT should be content with the buyback from Brewmaster and back off a little bit. But it looks like they're instead going to just continue on and try and get as much damage on this tier 3 tower as they can. And here it goes. The tower is going to start melting on the back end of that Edict, as well as the damage coming out from the Bear. Glyph is popped. The tower is coming down to around half health. Kfoni coming in, as well as Shadow Demon, and now the combo on Rolo. He's going to drop instantly. Helix in the middle of the fight. No opportunity to pop off the Primal Split, and Buyback is on cooldown. Fantasy drops off an Echo Slam right into the pipe pop, though, and he's in trouble. Now Tobacco in the middle of the fight, going to try and finish off Fantasy. A scream enough to take him down. Tobacco may jump on top of Tabor. No, he's going to back up, and instead they're going to take down the tier 3 tower and move on to the racks. Josh Tabak Dota taking this match to Suits inside of 25 minutes. They're going to claim a racks, and Suits are in dire straits. I'm not sure what they can do to try and come back. 12,000 gold advantage over 6,000 experience advantage for JT, and they are looking like they're on their way to the finals for a shot at that $500. And now we do see a cold snap come out on Smurf. They're going to try and pick him off here, but a good stun coming out from Rubik is going to slow them down in their pursuit. And now Smurf does lose his Bear. Will not have another one for 65 seconds, so needs to get out of here as quickly as possible. He also has Radiance up on him now. So big pickups. And it looks like Suits are not going to give up, but they definitely are in a bad position. Let's check out the gold per minute. We could see Lone Druid 447, Queen of Pain 426, and the next closest is going to be 357 on Broodmother. So she is ways behind the two top farmers on the Radiant team. That's going to be a lot due to the pressure exerted on her in the early phases of the game, as well as the tower advantage. And we could also check out last hits. Queen of Pain leading the way there. And let's check out hero level. 14-14, 12-12, 11-11. So it's just an overall advantage. You can see the supports level 6 on Earthshaker. Meanwhile, level 9 on the lowest on the Radiant team. That is Rubik. So a huge lead for them there. Gem is still up on Rubik. He hasn't dropped since he picked that up. And now 1900 gold on Tobacco. We'll see what he wants to go for on that Queen of Pain next. It looks like JT want to push out this bottom lane now. Derp also able to finish up a mech, so well played by Beastmaster, and he did a tremendous job maintaining his own in that top lane. There really wasn't enough pressure exerted on him. He was able to get last hits as well as levels pretty easily. Meanwhile, Broodmother got punished very hard in this bottom lane, and that may have been the big difference in the early stages of the game that allowed JT to have the lead they had and really get going. And I said it during the picking phase, it seemed pretty obvious that JT wanted to feature an aggressive tri-lane that was going to push very